Of all the places you played, it seemed like Texas was the best spot for you. It's why you made yourself a Hall of Famer. Why was Texas so good for you?
Because you were here. Definitely is a big part of my career, and definitely where I end up being more productive consistently. But I found that when I got here, it was the right spot for me. I got the great teammates. The front office was supportive of me and my family, and I just felt that the team we had, it was a team to compete, and that would make it easier for me to just get out there and just play the game.
Adrian, how big was, that group of guys, a lot of which are sitting right here, in bringing out that personality and that joy that you played the game with, and that probably, I would assume, translated to the way you played as well?
It was big. It was big. First of all, I got here with a great team that I went to World Series the year before. Having the leaders that they had here, Michael, Ian, Elvis, the bunch of guys. I can go down the list. They made me feel comfortable, and that was the reason why I felt, I can be just one of these guys and have fun and play the game hard. And when you're winning, it's easy to have fun. And we were winning a lot. So for me, we just come out here, enjoy what I was doing, and just play the game.
Hey, you are here. You talked
I am here.
You talked yesterday about what this organization meant for you, but you did come up a Dodger, and people do want to know on the Hall of Fame
Yeah,
plaque.
everybody want to know. I want to know too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you know yet?
I don't know.
You haven't made a decision.
I can't say anything. The Hall of Fame is supposed to announce that. You want me to tell you?
Yes.
I can't.
Do you have any? Do you have any thoughts on how important you want the Rangers to be in your part of the Hall of Fame?
Say that again?
Do you have any thoughts on how important you want the Rangers to be portrayed as your induction in the Hall of Fame?
I assume. I think this is an important decision, and the Rangers have been super great to me. So that's all I can say right now.
Other questions?
Adrian, of all the personal moments and benchmarks that made you a Hall of Famer, is there one that sticks out for you, or is there one that fans bring up to you the most? Like the 3,000th hit, or a cycle, or an awesome defensive play?
Hard to say, but I think it had to be the doesn't hit, because somehow that kind of gives you a little push. But I can't say certain that that's what it is.
How special was that moment, by the way, with your kids coming to meet you on the field and your family celebrating that with you?
It was super special. The whole thing was just, it was surreal. I'd never expect to get to that point, to get 3,000 hits. Somehow I got there. But the way that the Rangers fixed stuff around me, because I had no idea what they were doing, and had that event when it happened, have the family on the field, had that logo on the right field, it was something really cool that I really appreciate what they did.
Adrian, back here. Over here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you just describe what it was like getting the call, that moment? So many Hall of Famers talk about the build-up to it, and then I can't imagine what that moment was like for you. Can you talk a little about that?
Do I have to?
I'd prefer it if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
I'm not the guy that like to be in the middle of attention, and I don't like that. I would feel uncomfortable. But yesterday was just expected, because the votes show like I had a pretty good chance. It was easier for me to kind of enjoy it and have family around, because in the beginning I don't want to have anybody in the house until my family kind of told me, hey, you have to have somebody because it looks like it's looking good. but they convinced me, so I had some family in the house, and they prepared a little something, and you allowed cameras to come in. But overall, I just want to get it over with. You know, I think that the waiting is a little uncomfortable for me. And I'm glad and lucky and honored that I got that call yesterday. But it was a day that it seemed like a long day, but it hasn't sink in yet. Because yesterday was kind of crazy with the family and moving around and doing interviews and other stuff, and getting up in the morning. You got to fly over here, but I haven't sit down yet with the family, kind of enjoy it yet, because it's being a little crazy over the last 20 hours.
Adrián, Eric Mora de Telemundo. En español, ¿nos podría decir qué significó para ti o qué significa para ti ser un nuevo miembro del Salón de la Fama y cómo viviste estas últimas horas, cómo lo recibiste, cómo has vivido desde que ya se oficializó esta inclusión tuya al Salón de la Fama?
Bueno, sí, obviamente significa mucho para mí. Es importante saber que yo no jugué para estar en este renglón, Salón de la Fama. Pero obviamente es un honor, bien recibido. A mí siempre me ha gustado ser respetado como yo juego o como jugaba. Y ahora que me pongan en ese renglón de los Salón de la Fama, para mí es algo muy importante. Con relación al día de ayer, como yo lo esperé con la familia, esperando a ver si en realidad la llamada iba a ser positiva. Obviamente hay siempre un rejuego de si va a pasar o no. Hasta que la llamada te llamen, pues es lo real. Y de verdad que fue un día que la familia estaba esperando con mucha ansiedad, pero gracias a Dios pasó, y ahora mismo no te puedo decir exactamente cómo me siento porque ha sido todo muy rápido, pero estamos contentos de que haya pasado ya.
Hey, Adrian, when you've been
I
to
talked to
the,
you yesterday, right?
you talked to Evan too. Hey, when you go to Cooperstown, when you've been in the past and you've gone through the museum, is there any player that you've been like, wow, I really admire this guy, or I might be alongside him one day? That's maybe blowing your mind.
I can go down the list. I mean, I was talking to my teammates out there, like just the fact that my name is going to be called next to Willie Mays, Ken Griffin, Poch Rodriguez, Pedro Martinez. It blows my mind that I'm going to be in the podium soon next to those guys. It's nothing higher than that. I'm honored, I'm humble, because I don't see myself like those guys. I don't really belong, but I'm gladly that people recognize what I did and they thought that I was worthy of it. But it still has to sink in. It blows my mind.
Adrián, por acá atrás, Pedro Silva, Univisión Dallas. Bueno, primero felicidades obviamente por esta hazaña.
Gracias.
Y preguntarte, ¿qué significó para ti en tu carrera esta franquicia, los Texas Rangers, y el poder verlos ganar una serie mundial recientemente?
Los Rangers para mí significaron algo muy importante en mi carrera. Fue la organización que realmente me cementó como ser más reconocido y tener el chance de lograr lo que todo jugador quiere lograr, que es tener chance de jugar en la Serie Mundial. Obviamente lo pudimos hacer, sabemos qué pasó, pero claro, obviamente siempre agradecido de la manera que se han portado conmigo, con mi familia, cuando jugaba y después que jugaba. O sea que para mí tienen un lugar muy especial. Y con relación a... ¿Cuál fue tu segunda pregunta? La Serie Mundial, obviamente yo estuve también aquí apoyándolo, y gracias también a ellos que me invitaron a ser parte, junto con Ian y con Michael, estar ahí para ver el gran logro que hicieron, porque para mí fue, aparte de que estuve contento que lo hicieron, pues también fue como un despojo, porque me sentía un poquito culpable de que nosotros, el grupo que teníamos en aquel año 2011, que era el equipo para ganar, y de traerle un campeonato aquí a Texas, y no pudimos lograrlo. Así que el grupo el año pasado lo logró, y para nosotros fue fue una hazaña que no pudimos lograrlo, pero como nosotros no jugando, pero como fanáticos, claro que me disfruté.
Adrián, nos mantenemos en español. Carlos Ravelo de Telemundo 39. Está de fiesta la República Dominicana, un orgullo latino. ¿Cuál es tu mensaje para esos peloteros que anhelan llegar a Cooperstown? ¿Cuál consideras tú que fue la clave y lo que te llevó hasta ahí? Gracias.
Yo creo que trabajo y perseverancia. Saber que tú no juegas solamente para números, tú juegas para tu equipo y juegas para tú dar lo mejor de ti. Mi carrera fue un poquito diferente que otros. Obviamente yo empecé un poquito más lento y pude enfocarme más o encontrar lo que era mi parte de juego, aprender más quién era Adrian Beltre jugando defensivamente y también ofensivamente. Pero yo estaba completamente seguro de que tenía las herramientas para ser mejor jugador. Y lo encontré y me enfoqué y pude enfocarme en qué tengo que trabajar yo para ser mejor yo. Y eso me ayudó a ser más consistente y a tener más experiencia. Y obviamente también tener buenos compañeros y buen equipo también tuvo mucho que ver con eso.
Other questions? Right there. Yeah.
Adrian, congratulations. You say that you don't feel like you belong with those other guys in the Hall of Fame. Did you ever think about this moment happening growing up in the Dominican, and was there a moment during your playing days here where you felt like this moment could happen?
I never thought about this happening. I started playing the game because I love the game. I came to the minor leagues and I came to the big leagues. I never saw myself as a Hall of Famer. Never even thought about I want to be a Hall of Famer. Never did. I wanted to play the game. I wanted to enjoy what I did. I want to be respected. I want to be the best I could be, but I never thought about Hall of Fame or getting to 2,000 hits. That was not me. That's why I say I'm blown away, because I'm standing right here asking questions about Hall of Fame. But definitely, it's going to sink in. I'm going to enjoy it because this is really cool.
When it does sink in, what do you think that will be like? Will it be emotional?
I'll let you know when it happens.
Looking forward to it. And just finally, you talked about just being more productive when you got here and some of the things conducive to that. Why do you think it was such a flip for you in your career?
To begin with, I think that the team that we had is just loaded with great hitters that I learned a lot from. It was more of, I don't have to be the guy and just be one of them. Is the fact that the ballpark was more friendly than the ballpark that I played before. And I had more experience, and I have better hitting coaches, and I learned things in my swing that it took me a little longer to learn, to master what I need to do to work, to be more consistent. And there's no doubt that, I could have done that earlier. I wish I could have found out earlier. But it took me longer to understand what my swing was and how I can be more consistent. And I think I found this in Texas. That was all the reasons I told you, I think, has part of it.
So since you
You
hate
again?
Again, yeah. Since you hate being the center of attention, and since you have incredible respect for the game, how are you handling the idea of speaking at the Hall of Fame?
Oh, you just screwed up the whole interview here. I don't want to think about it. I can't speak English to save my life. That's one. And two, I hate speaking in public. I don't know how I'm doing this right now. But once I get there, I have a lot of friends and family. They already commit to help me do the speech. That once that time comes, we'll see what we do with that. But I don't want to think about that, because that would be probably the least more happy moment in that day. Because I don't want to do that. I hope my wife can stand up for me and speak. But it's a good problem to have, so I'll figure it out.
Other questions? Stephanie?
Adrian, I realize if the whole thing hasn't sunk in yet, the idea that you were a first ballot and received 95% of the vote, 19th highest ever, is that going to take a while to sink in, all those kind of things?
Yeah, I think so. I knew that I had a chance to get in the first ballot. I didn't expect this. I'm humble and I'm grateful for the writers that vote for me because, I seen in years before how that works. And I don't think you're going to be near that, but it kind of helped my family, helped me be more relaxed that day because, once you get up there, it's easier to get in. I didn't want it to be, I don't think anybody wants to be 175, 80 the last day without, probably half of the boat without knowing what's going on. So, but I'm gladly, I'm happy that went that way, but I never expected that.
Were you happy that your son and wife were giving you the percentage updates, or were you telling them, no, I don't want to hear it? Or
Myself, I never looked. I didn't want to do that, but I didn't need it to look because my son and my wife they were on it. So, and the reason why my wife was doing on it more because she was pushing me to have family in the house, and I didn't want that. And my son he's a baseball nut, so he's always looking into stuff. But yeah, but even though I don't want updates, my wife created like a family chat for that. And they're, we're 75 today, we're 80, so, all right. About to block her from my cell phone, but she's lucky I love her so much.
Besides being a great player and besides being a guy who speaks very well English and
Thank
and
you
who-
for lying to my face, but it's okay.
and who will do very well on the podium next summer. When you were on the field, you had a lot of fun. I mean, with Felix, the whole on deck thing, with that nutty shortstop sitting next to you. What was it about you that allowed you to express so much joy on the field while being a very competitive player?
Well, to start, like I love the game. I love baseball, and that's all I wanted to do since I was a little kid. And I lost a little bit of that along the way, thinking that this is a business. And once I started to try to play the game for the fans, in the sense of asking, because you got this contract, you have to perform this way. And it was too much for me. Once I figured out that, just play the game that you were playing when you were a little kid. You enjoy and you were good at it. That's when I find out that, what? If I just play the game and have fun and enjoy it, it'd be easier for you just to do your job, right? So I went through hard times in Seattle. I have some tough times that I did not enjoy the game. And after that, I said, what's the worst that can happen? I can have a worse freaking year than this. So I said, I just enjoy it, and some of my teammates helped me doing that. When I got here, it was easier to do that too. We have great guys, great teammates, and I just started enjoying myself. And I always wanted to enjoy myself, but not to respect anybody. So it was hard to find that gray area which you just enjoy yourself without, pissing everybody off. So I hope I did it okay, but I was just trying to be myself. But it's easy to have fun when you're winning, and when we were here, we were winning a lot, so that helped a lot too.
So you're not going in alone. Can you talk about Joe Mauer and Todd Helton, what your thoughts are on them, and even Jim Leland?
Great guys. Todd Helton, I was coming up with the Dodgers in '98. He was already in the big league, Todd, and what a hitter. Consistent hitter every year. I believe that he should have been in a couple of years ago. Super nice guy. Always talk to you when I used to go to first. Now I didn't get to first a lot, but when I used to get to first, he would talk to me. He always, if you have a question for him, he was always answer. He was always nice to me, and I find that shocking because back then when you came to the big league, my long time ago, veteran guys, they are good. They don't really talk to young guys or rookies. It was not like that. So when guys like that, like Todd Helton, and Derek Jeter, those guys talked to me when I was young. Like, oh man, these guys are. And after that, I got immense respect for that guy, and he was always good to me. He was super nice guy. And Joe Mauer, I talked to him a lot. We went to a couple Nike trips together. I got to know him really well. And what a nice guy and what a great hitter. They're both deserving to be there, and I'm happy. I can't wait to join the podium with them.
Time for two more.
Adrian, more than 95% of the vote, which means that a very, very small handful of writers have proven that they know absolutely nothing about baseball. So what,
They told me you won the one that didn't vote for me. Were you? John, that's the guy?
and actually, what is your message to those people, those very, very few people who left you off their ballots?
There's no message for those people, man. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm surprised that I was a 95. You know, I did not expect everybody to vote for me. I wasn't even close to my mind. I was telling my wife yesterday, like, they were showing that we had, you know, I'm gonna be shining all day because, you know, we had to. So at one point, you know, I was walking by the kitchen and TV was on and they were looking at something and I look up and I saw like 99. I'm like, how the hell am I 99? Like, is that a typo? Because I just don't see myself that high. When you get Ken Griffin Jr. didn't get to 100%. You got Jeter didn't get 100%. You go down the line, the players, they should be voting 100%. Where am I in the 90s? But gladly, I'm grateful. It made it easier for me and my family to expect something was going to happen. But I do not expect everybody to vote for me. So I have nothing negative about those guys. They have their job. They have to believe you can do whatever. It's a free speech, right? You can do whatever you want. So, you know, I know that some people are not happy about that, but I can care less.
One more question.
We saw Albert's message to you last night after the announcement on MLB Network. Was there anybody in particular that you heard from in the last 24 hours?
Oh gosh, Emily, I have literally 1,500 text messages on my phone.
So that's why you haven't returned my text?
Yes.
Okay.
The one you sent me last year, they haven't replied. Yeah. It's been plenty of people that haven't get to it. I tried to catch up yesterday. It was impossible. I'm gonna sit down once I got some time and do that. But like, it's plenty of people I haven't seen, you know. But I got calls from Pujols, you know, Pedro Martinez and John Daniels, and down the list I got Jim Leyland, Jim Thome, Barry Larkins, you name it. It's been Larry Walker. So it's been Joe Torre. Yeah, I'm getting back to the text from yesterday. It's been great, and I'm humbled to just get a text from those guys, you know. But I'm pretty sure they have some of the people there, but I haven't get to it.
Okay, so you need a couple of these guys like Michael or Elvis to do one-on-one, to do groups about Adrian. They'll stay. Adrian and Sandra have got to get out of here.
Yeah, we're getting kicked out.
So,
All right, John, we're out of here.
gotta fly.